already know, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Yes, you are. Welcome back to Real Deal Sports Show on this Saturday morning, June 14th. Can't believe we're halfway through the month of June. Radman here coming to you live from Rock Palm Broker Studios each and every Saturday morning, the way we get down here in the Rock. To all of our listeners out on YouTube, like us, subscribe to the show. We keep us going, and we appreciate all the new subscribers. And also feel free to check out the website, realdealsportshow.com. Our girl there is hooking us up, doing a great job with the website, making things rock and roll on our website each and every week on realdealsportshow.com. Let's get into the show this morning. First things first, with the Radman Rants, I got to say a few things about Chris Webber. Chris Webber, you saying?
Brace yourself. Brace yourself for this Radman rant. There's been some things happening there that's been released with Chris Webber, Doug Christie, his wife, and it's all alleged. But man, this thing is definitely something that's man.
Why
something
is
a little bit nuts. Can you give us some of that Radman rant, Radman?
Sure thing, Internet Passport. Why in the world, whenever Chris Webber name seems to come up, it's usually not that good. It's usually questionable, suspicious, suspect. I mean, let's go back to the Michigan days. Chris Webber, good guy. It looked like he went and told on his teammates about how he was getting paid at the under the table money, where now the court just ironically a week ago now going to allow players to get paid over the table. Now they can get their money, but Chris Webber going to tell on Tank, the guy that was paying them, and really turned in the rest of his teammates who was getting money. So he was like a snitch or something, man, back in the day, what they used to call him in the street, man. I mean, Chris Webber tell on his teammate. Now, why would you tell on your teammate just to get out of a jam about what you were involved? Then on the basketball court, with 10 seconds left, or whatever seconds was left in the championship game, the coach already told you, don't call timeout. We got to get the ball in, get them to foul you so you can get to the foul line. Chris Webber loses his composure and calls timeout, and their timeout that they didn't have that cost them a technical foul, and they end up losing the national championship game. You can't all blame it on one person for the whole game. But, man, that meltdown by Chris Webber will never, and they always show it during the Final Four. A lot of times they show that meltdown of Chris Webber and the Michigan Wolverines team of that year back in the 90s. Those guys, the Fab Five, was a great team doing their thing. Then Chris Webber melted down last second of the game. Now, we go to the pros. Chris Webber playing in the NBA, playing with a guy out of Canada that we always knew. People up here, we heard about him up because we were in Buffalo, New York. We heard of Doug Christie. Doug Christie was a top player out in Toronto and area. Made it to the NBA. Played now him and Chris Webber on the same team. They're playing together. And now allegedly, we find out that Chris Webber may have fathered the kid, the young daughter. Well, she's a grown woman now. The daughter that Doug Christie had with his wife. Doug Christie always thought that was his kid. And now we're finding out through court documents and court proceedings that the kid looked like the DNA test came back that allegedly that is Chris Webber's baby. So Chris Webber was going with a teammate's wife, is what his son comes up to be, Internet Passport. How low can you go? How low can you go?
This is
a teammate.
Oof.
You travel with them on the plane. You travel with them on the plane, the buses. You're eating meals. You're in the hotel. You're having breakfast. You're getting ready pregame meal, watching film together as a team, and you tiptoeing off going with the man's wife. Man, how low can you go, man? I mean, come on, Chris Webber, man. Come on, man. Really?
It's something where you sometimes you work with some folks and they always say if something bad happens, they always go to the husband or they go to the spouse there to see what's happening. I'll say, how close would they have to be for something like this to happen? How close? What interactions? It's something that allegedly is just pretty sad. Something that's despicable. And something it's one of those deep, dark secrets that's covered up. People asking questions, there's stories saying that that Weber will be over their house and just looking at the kid and just tearing up a little bit, being a little emotional. It's like why is Uncle Chris always seems a little emotional when he's around me? It's like, hey, this man is doing something odd, man. It's just
You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
It's definitely something.
You don't find that suspicious.
I hope we keep an eye on like that, but it takes. I don't think it's just a one person. I don't think it's just one person, Miss Christie, that's covering up everything. I think it's something with multiple folks there involved. Something definitely that's complex. But that type of rumor, that type of information is something that is definitely very shocking, shameful. And all I can say is, ultimately, I wish them the best. I hope they find some type of solution to get on through, because that's something that can really break legacies. And for what they both have on the court, hopefully this thing off the court won't overshadow them.
Yeah, exactly. Because Doug Christie was a good dude. I guess his wife was on the show Housewives, Basketball Housewives, had a reality show, so she had a lot to lose. I guess she was the business person with the TV shows and the reality shows and making them different money, and even tried to pay the daughter off, not to say anything about what the daughter may know about the situation. Want to pay her a lot of money. So it's a real, man. It's a real triangle, almost a soap opera. They may make it into a movie someday. Internet Passport, all the things that have taken place in that relationship. And Doug Christie just seemed to be a nice dude, man. Just a nice dude, man. He just seemed like he was humble cat. You never saw him raise his voice, or you never saw him put his hands on his woman. Just a nice dude, man. And just to be disrespected by your teammate like that, and treated like that by your teammate who didn't have the regards for you. And also not only had the regards for him, we just stated he didn't have regards for his college teammates by talking about the money and getting them on suspension. I mean, come on, man. This dude is a trip, man. A trip, as Mr. Blunt would always say, man. Some people are a trip. Real trip, man. He's tripping big time, man. Unbelievable, man. But just hang in there, Doug Christie, hang in there and do your thing. At least he raised the girl right. The girl seems to definitely like him and everything. So they, it was at night to have a nice relationship. So hopefully that can continue onward once this entire mess gets sorted out. But hate to hear that. That's part of the Rad Man rant. For this one, Buffalo Bills Internet Passport. James Cook showed up, and people were surprised. Why wouldn't you show up? If you don't show up, they taking money off the tape. They taking money from you. Heck yeah, I would show up, man. I don't want nobody digging in my pockets for me not showing up for 3 days of running around in your shorts and running through some plays. Hey, I show up every day, and then if it's a problem, when we get to training camp to St. John Fisher College, I may have to miss a few days over at St. John Fisher College, man, because the guy wants to get paid. I think there's a way they could have done it. If you didn't pay Dawson Knox, why the heck are you paying Dawson Knox? He's a bum. Straight up bum. What you paying a bum for? You gave him ridiculous money like he's the future Antonio Gates. He's the future guy that's doing commercials. He's already doing plumbing commercials over there in Buffalo. He's with a plumbing company doing TV commercials. He's a pitch man. He's doing car commercials. What's going on? You paying him? If you didn't pay him, you could have gave an extension and gave a nice little bonus to James Cook for this coming season. Say, hey man, we'll give you a bonus because we're not paying this bum over here, Dawson. Now we're gonna give it to the dudes who really leaving it all on the field. And James Cook left it all on the field last season. Even if he doesn't have a great season this year, hey man, the guy did. You can't deny what he's done. And then if you don't sign him after this season and let him walk and draft another running back or pick up a running back somewhere else, depending on how the season goes, hey man, I would have given James Cook a bonus. They may still give him a bonus, try to find some money, but it's tight. It's tight for the Bills to come up with some money to pay James Cook when you paying guys like that. Hey, they even pay. Hey, by the way, Internet Passport, the Bills playing another pitch man. Every time if you drive around Rochester, New York right now, you're going to see DeMar Hamlin on billboards talking about about an automotive company. He's another pitch man, but he's not a tackler. He's not a hitter. He doesn't make plays on the field. He makes plays off the field. He's making money for car dealerships. Nice dude. We all care about the guy, but man, come on, man. How much caring can you get, man? You need real safeties, or you need some hard-hitting safeties on the back end for the Buffalo Bills. And right now, Cole Bishop is young. We don't know what we got with Cole Bishop. And what's the guy that wears the Mr. Kazoo helmet, the double helmet? Taylor Rapp is like a stunt man. He just hurls his body into a pileup and then come up and wonder why he concussed and getting taken off on a cart. Why he always got to get carted off at least once or twice a season, man. The guy he's a human stunt man. He throws his body, or a test dummy or something, man. He just throws his body recklessly into pileups. Matter of fact, he's the one that hurt Rasul Douglas, man. He hurled his body into a pileup and hit Rasul Douglas more than he hit anybody else. And Rasul Douglas was never the same last season from the injury that he tried to play with the rest of the season. So when you got two suspect safeties, where are you going? Internet passport. What's going on with the Bills? Why are you bringing Damar Hamlin back when you know he's not your starter, man? And he's not. You've seen what he can do. Please let the Bean and McDermott. They have a hard time letting go of certain guys, man. You gotta let guys go and bring somebody else in here, man.
Well, I would say there, Rad Man. That was something that was epic, a nice, epic Rad Man rant and whatnot. But I will want to say it was some good news to see James Cook, because at first he wasn't there. He wasn't there at camp, but he ended up showing up there. He ended up showing up, coming into camp, working out. But the thing is, he's not gonna get paid, y'all. In my opinion, outside of Josh Allen and Deion Dawkins, he's the most important offensive weapon the Bills have. However, under Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, they do not pay running backs. They do not pay. They'll draft them about every 2 years. If he wasn't going to show, hey, man, Davis back there was going to be the lead back. That's just what was going to happen. The Bills are not going to extend him. He's going to play out the rest of his contract and go get his big money somewhere else while the Bills draft somebody in the 2026 NFL draft. That's been their MO. That's what they're going to do. I think James Cook did. He took a calculated risk. Want to be able to sit out, see, hey, I could leverage this. I'm important to the team. I contributed a lot. I know he wasn't the only main factor, but he took that risk, and unfortunately, it just didn't work. He's going to show up now, just collect this check, and hopefully he makes it through healthy. And then in the offseason, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid and be able to make that happen for him. And when it comes to his career, when it comes to Damar Hamlin, hey, they like to have their guys around there, Rad Man. They like to have their guys that know their system, that's good character guys, that's going to help them in the locker room. I still think that the Bills are offensively one wide receiver, one impact weapon away, but who knows? That could be maybe Dawson Knox if he ends up being healthy. Who knows? It could end up being one of the free agent signees. But one thing that they do when it comes to Sean McDermott, when it comes to Brandon Beane, they still like to go back and sign some of their old guys from good old Carolina, and that's what they recently did as well. The Buffalo Bills went and signed linebacker Shaq Thompson. He that was drafted there with the Carolina Panthers. Another Carolina Panther becomes a Buffalo Bill. Bills, they do need some help at linebacker. Well, I would say some depth. They do need some depth at linebacker. I have my reservations if he's going to end up being a reserve role. I think it makes sense. He's somebody who's another good locker room guy. You never hear anything bad about him. He's on the backside of his career, and unfortunately, injuries have taken his toll. But I think this could be a spot on the back end of the roster for him to come in and perform. But for those guys, he's going to have to show up on special teams. But those are some of my thoughts there, Radman. What do you think about that signing of linebacker Shaq Thompson?
I thought it was a good signing at this date. He's coming up off of a ruptured Achilles that he only played 4 games with the Carolina Panthers. Remember, he was drafted way back in 2015. Well, not that long ago, but 2015. and that was the year they went to the Super Bowl. So his rookie season, he was coached by Sean McDermott, the defensive coordinator that team went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Denver Broncos. Where they had where Carolina should have won that game. Was a lot. They let a one-arm Peyton Manning beat them, which to me, Sean McDermott would never live that down. How you let a one-arm quarterback beat you in the Super Bowl in the biggest game where your defense was supposed to be? Once again, his defense let him down in the big game. I don't know what it is about Sean McDermott, but his defense let him down in the biggest game of all. And the same thing is transferred over in Buffalo, where his defenses seem to let him down at the end. Shaq Thompson, coming off that, he's had other injuries through the years. He's like an automobile. He's over 150,000 miles, heading toward 200,000 miles quickly. A lot of tire rubbish. Like the guy, can he give us some play? Hopefully he can. Can he help come in and help some of the young linebackers perform a little better? Maybe coach him up a little bit, help out, and be able to play himself in certain situations. It can happen. It can happen. So it's not a bad signing, but what you gonna get with a guy recovering from a ruptured Achilles, man, and had several other injuries throughout the years. I mean, it's a typical Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane signing, a guy they like, a guy that they know, guy they drafted, the whole 9 yards. So, hey, well, it is what it is. It's a typical Sean McDermott going back to Carolina. Whenever he gets in doubt, let's go to Carolina and find one of the over the hill guys that we have from Carolina and bring them over here and see if they can still be over the hill with the Buffalo Bills. Same old, same old. Let's see if they can do something different when they get to training camp and get this team in order. The offense looks like it should be ready to go. But Internet Passport, how much longer can you have an offensive line that hasn't had many injuries, very few injuries on the offensive line, played as one of the top three? I think the Buffalo Bills offensive line was either number one or number two throughout the season for the last 2 years. They're in the top three in the entire league. How many more years can you get away with not having serious injuries to that offensive line?
Well, that's the thing when it comes to injuries and when it comes to football. Those offensive and defensive linemen, they have contact on every play. And so how they were able to make it through a grueling long season when it comes to those guys up front is definitely something that's amazing, and hopefully that could repeat itself. But if not, the Buffalo Bills offensive line ends up having that depth that's going to be able to provide some help in case there's an injury, in case someone needs to take a spell. And plus, when it comes to the Buffalo's offense, Josh Allen, he isn't going to have the ball. Excuse me, he's not going to have the ball too long in his hands. So if they could keep everything all together, if they could stay healthy, man, the Bills could be right back there again. But I still say they needed just to take that offense to another level. I think that's what everybody's looking for, just who's going to be a big, impactful weapon when it comes to year two. I think wide receiver Coleman, I think this is time for him to step up to see what he really can do. Khalil Shakir, I know he's going to show on out. Man, I'm trying to see what's happening with him, what's going to happen there with Curtis Samuel. I think he's one that we're going to have to really see what's going to happen and how they're going to construct that wide receiver room, because you got a couple of guys that are locks, maybe two with Coleman and Shakir. After that, hey, it's a toss-up of how that wide receiver room is going to happen, how it's going to put together. I still think Tyrell Shavers could be a dark horse there as well and make an impact over the past couple of years. And plus, you never know, fingers crossed. I never hope this happens, but sometimes in training camp, there could be some injuries. So a lot of things can happen between now and opening day. And Radman, I also just want to be able just to shift back to the defensive side of the ball as well. Just when it comes to the impact signing of Shaq Thompson. What do you think? If it came down between him and linebacker or Balen Spector, if it came down to those two, who would you like to see there to fill that last spot when it comes to the linebacker role?
Why is Balen Spector on this football team? That's another wasted. He's a waste, man. The man can't stay on the field. He couldn't stay on the field in college football. That was the knock on him in college. He always had injuries playing at the University of Clemson. So, okay, he comes to the Bills. You draft him, cool. You got him in the later round, but he cannot stay on the football field. I wouldn't even invited him back this season. Spector just can't stay on the field. Every time he does, when they need him, he comes out, plays a quarter, and then you hear it in the press box. You hear the press box announcer, Buffalo Bills update. Number 54, Braylon Spector has been downgraded to out with a quad injury, out with a hamstring, out with a foot injury. Man, we done heard all kinds of. The guy is never in. He's always out. He can't seem to finish a football game. That guy would have been gone. If it's like Jim Harbaugh said, if you can't stay on the field, you can't stay on my football team. He shouldn't even been invited. He shouldn't even be invited back to St. John Fisher this year. Braylon Spector should even. That's another roster spot that should be given to somebody else to get an opportunity. Somebody that can stay on the field and do what they can do. Because he just nice. I don't know the guy personally, anything. Probably a real nice guy. But he should be somewhere selling insurance, maybe a Miriam Rivera, man. Miriam Rivera is expanded to another office. Maybe Miriam Rivera can use Braylon Spector as a person there, as a sales agent there. And speaking of Miriam Rivera, award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, auto, home, health, and life insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue or 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Give her a call, 585-360-0094. Give her, hey, if she saved the Radney family, the Radman family, a hell of a lot of money, I guarantee you, give her a call, get that free quote. I guarantee you she'll save you and your family a hell of a lot of money, unless you got a lot of DUIs or whatever they call that stuff today. I don't know if she can help y'all out there, your cats, but hey, y'all give her a call too. She might be able to do something for your cats too if you're in that type of situation. Don't think and drive. It's hey, come on now. Let's and on those scooters, wear a helmet on those scooters, please, out on the road. So if you got a boat, any of that, Miriam is the lady to see. She'll help you save you a lot of money with your auto, home, health, and life insurance. Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, Farmers Insurance Agency. Internet Passport, one other thing on the Bills. I always give Bean and McDermott a hard time, but I must give them credit. They signed their guys. They're not the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals is the worst ran organization in the National Football League. At least the Buffalo Bills signed their number one draft pick, the defensive back, and they also signed his teammate from Kentucky too, Deontay Walker, the defensive tackle, the mammoth defense. I think he's gonna be the next Ted Washington. He's huge, and I think they can put him in the middle. I'd like to see him with Daquan Jones out there and see what they can do this season. Maybe putting them both out there on running situations, especially when they play teams that like to run the football. Definitely like to see how they can work together. But the Bills don't seem to have trouble signing their players. But in their passport, why wouldn't they sign Ted Hendrickson? I mean, he's one of the best guys they got on defense. They acting like he a bum. They talking to that man like he a bum, like he just average. He's a superstar on that Cincinnati Bengals defense because they don't have anybody else. I mean, what the heck is wrong with the Bengals? And then the number one draft pick, the young man said they put a clause in his contract to say that if he doesn't make the team, he got to refund his guarantee. It's not guaranteed money. He got to give them back his signing bonus. Who does that in this era, man? It's 2025. You got to pay these guys now.
Yeah, but it's like the more things change, the more things stay the same, and that's definitely something that's sad there, Rad, man. That's I don't understand how the Cincinnati Bengals are able to do that with the first round pick. Their defensive end Shamir Stewart. It looks like he left Cincinnati's mandatory minicamp on Thursday amid a contract dispute, and it's saying Stewart, the Bengals' first round draft pick selection, has not participated in any of the team's offseason workouts. And according to a source, the dispute is centered on interpretation of language in the contract that could affect guaranteed money. And what makes this so odd, we see more and we've seen signings and reports from first round picks on multiple other teams throughout the NFL saying, hey, my money's fully guaranteed, or I have a fully guaranteed contract. Well, of course, you go over to a team that doesn't like to spend any money. Who's cheap, known for being cheap, and known for their facilities being a little bit old. The Cincinnati Bank. Come on now. Do you want them to refund the money? You want them to wait. If you don't make the team, you gotta give your money back. What?
How, Sway? Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
That just doesn't make any sense there to me. That just doesn't make any sense to me. They got to be able just to, a follow the trend. He's a high pick. You know how much it's going to be because of the cap situation in these rookie contracts. So go ahead and pay the man. You did all this research. Pay this young man. Get the contract done. Get him in because now this is going to set a bad precedent for the organization. And then you also have that going on with their dispute with their great defensive end, Trey Hendrickson. It's not a good look over there for Cincinnati. Sometimes you got to bring out that Brinks truck. Well, actually, it's not even the Brinks truck. He's on a rookie deal. You just got to pay the man. And also on a side note, remember to like the video, like, comment, and subscribe to Real Deal Sports Show on YouTube and Facebook. It's a small thing for us, but it means the world at the same time. Appreciate that with y'all.
Yeah, no matter how things change, certain things don't change. The Cincinnati Bengals are still as cheap as they always been. Mike Brown, the Brown family has always been super cheap. Look at their uniforms. They never had real fancy uniforms or anything. They remember they used to be the Cleveland Browns originally. They ran him out of Cleveland, and he started had a falling out there. Paul Brown, the dad, way back in the day. So remember they were originally the Cleveland Browns. And Paul Brown said, "The heck with y'all." He thumbed his nose had a big falling out, and he moved and started the Cincinnati Bengals down the road. So remember, Cleveland used to be in bad shape for spending money. Now they spending a little money over there. But Cincinnati, Mike Brown, you need to be ashamed of yourself treating a rookie like that. And the rookie had to have an interview. He showed up to the mini camp, to the mandatory camp, and had to talk about you. He in your building saying, "You guys are the cheapest." I've never seen that before, where the guy shows up and he talks. He's on their property and he's talking about how cheap they are. I said, "I'll be doggone." I've never seen nothing like that.
It's $5 per towel. For massages, it's gonna be a fee. If you use the weight room, you gotta pay $25. Wait, he's probably looking at the contract. Hey, what's all this other stuff? He's calling up probably some of the other first round picks. Wait a second. You're not having you're about to be signed, fully guaranteed. They're not doing all this nickel and diamond with you, all this stuff when it comes to the language. Oh nah, man, nah, Stuart. They taking care of us over here, man. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's just bad reputation is looking rough. It's looking wild. But a lot of things end up happening there when it comes to the offseason leading up to the season. And there was another major signing in the NFL, Radman, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The one person that we know as the bad man, Aaron Rodgers, went ahead and signed with the Steelers. And I want to get your thought on this there, Radman, and maybe just the thoughts on this when it comes to BacSpin as well. They always talking about, hey, Aaron Rodgers, we know that he could ball. We know that. However, sometimes it's those things that happen off the field and inside the locker room that rubs people the wrong way. And this one thing there that happened as he came into the facility, someone asked him, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers, you have a ring on your finger."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just got married. And small little thing, but my goodness, Aaron Rodgers already being a distraction, moving in silence, acting like nobody's gonna know. I was like, Aaron, if you got married, that's major news. You're a public figure. Who are you married to? What's going on? Is this why the signing took so long? Like I said, this man is gonna be the downfall, in my opinion, the downfall of the Steelers and Mike Tomlin leaving the door. But I want to know what your thoughts there, Radman. Is this a sign of things to come with him already being a distraction, or is this something that's just being overblown?
No, he just showing up as a distraction. I just can't believe what the Steelers are doing. I know the people at Vision Bar, Ron and the cats at Vision Barbershop. I know they got to be upset beside themselves to have Aaron Rodgers show up and talk about it. Now he's married and he came out there. He did run through the drills. Now I wonder, is he gonna stay? Now they done. Now they leave for about a month. They got mandatory off time, but I wonder, will he stay and come back to Pittsburgh a little early or stay there this weekend a little longer just to go over the offense since he hasn't really been there? Is he going? It's funny, he shows up for the mandatory camp, and now it's time to leave again. So in a month from now, they'll be going to real training camp, getting ready to kick off the season. So I just think it's a distraction. The Steelers are going to have a distraction all season. They're going to run the football, and then play action passing, I think, to get the job done. They're going to pay probably T.J. Watt. He's sitting out. He wants his money. He wants more money. Okay, get T.J. Watt. Why wouldn't you trade him? Why wouldn't you take T.J. Watt and get a little younger? Because this guy, he's been there all this time, and you really haven't won anything. So he's a good player. He's getting old. He's getting a lot of injuries. He's another guy that's over 100,000 miles right now, I would say, if he was an automobile, because he's got dinged up. He plays very well. He's one, Cam Ward, another guy. They're getting older on that defensive front of the Steelers. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, how this breaks down when they get to training camp, how Aaron Rodgers controls the offense, how the defense plays. Mike Tomlin with Aaron Rodgers, that should be something to see. How they start off the season. Let's see if he gonna roll them out. How they're gonna throw the football. I just don't like the receiver they picked up from Seattle. He's a big target, but he runs. He's he doesn't outrun you. He can out jump you and get the football from you. But he's not a guy that can get ahead of you easily. So
hey, Metcalf, man.
Metcalf's a tough guy, but I don't know. It's something about this. How he's kind of rigid. He's a real rigid type guy. He's not a fluid. You think he's a fluid guy?
Man, he's a big physical freak.
Okay.
Big, physical, fast, big, strong, fast. Man, that was a weapon that they definitely needed. If Pickens was still there with him, that locker room would have been crazy. But hey, it is what it is. I think he's gonna be an excellent move. I think it's just Mike Thomas gonna have to go. They're gonna have to go ahead in the playoffs. I think they're a lock for a wild card, or they're gonna have to go deep into the playoffs. It's for him to keep his job because right now he's a Hall of Fame coach, but I think Aaron Rodgers on his last leg. This is gonna be his last hurrah, and I don't think he's gonna be able to reach that same heights as he's done in the past. I know you look at the numbers with him with the Jets and say that hey, he played well, he played solid, very serviceable. I think still he's ended up being a top 15 quarterback, but that and him going over there to the Steelers, it's going to have to be a perfect storm for them. It really has to be for them to be successful.
Okay, beautiful. And we're going to go to our next segment coming up. But our next segment is brought to you by the Advantage Federal Credit Union, AdvantageFCU.org, auto loans, Visa cards, student checking accounts, and much more. I saw a sign over there at Advantage Federal Credit Union now 4.95, starting at 4.95% for auto loans. Man, they want to get you in a car. If you're looking for a car, check out Advantage Federal Credit Union about getting the payment, how to pay that car off. 4.95% or 4.99% is a starter for the Red Man. Heck yeah. Check them out. Advantage Federal Credit Union. AdvantageFCU.org. Auto loans, Visa cards, student checking accounts, and much more. And we're going to check out a local athlete, Messiah Hampton from Monroe High School. Man, you talk about a freak of nature. This young man looks like he's a junior in college already, the way he plays Internet Passport over at Monroe High School. And yesterday, they had a big announcement of where he's going to go and play in college football on Saturdays. BacSpin, if you could play the interview, please.
I ain't believe in myself. They poured into me and they helped me keep going. So like to all the kids out there that's not the best right now, that don't believe in themselves, man, I was in your same position. Down, depressed, sad, ain't believe in myself, ain't really know what I wanted to do. Ain't think I was gonna make it at times, but like through the power of God, truly, through faith and prayer and just like hard work, you can just truly do anything you put your mind to. And that's one thing. All you guys who came out, all my teachers, everybody who poured into me, like all y'all are a part of the journey. Like, it's not just me, it's not just my family, it's not just coaches, it's everybody who poured into me, the whole community, everybody just believing in me and supporting. So I just truly want to thank all you guys. But for the next 3 to 4 years, I'll spin the wheel. All these schools, it was a tough decision for me, you know. I didn't really know where I wanted to go. I just feel like it's truly God's plan, you know. So wherever I go, I know He'll have my back. So we're going to spin it. The wind blowing. Seems like for the next 3 to 4 years, we're going to the University of Oregon.
There you have it. University of Oregon. You're going to be an Oregon Duck. I mean, Severin, another kid from the Rochester area, started out at Oregon. So congratulations, Messiah Hampton. Senior year coming up in the fall. Should have a big season at Monroe High. Monroe goes back into that Division II, the Division B. So they got a good chance of getting into the playoffs and getting into winning a state championship. I know that's the goal of their football team. They got a lot good quarterback, good defense. They got a good team, Monroe High School. Keep an eye on them in the fall. Hopefully we'll have Messiah on the show later on as we get closer to the high school football season. And remember, that was brought to you by Advantage Federal Credit Union, AdvantageFCU.org, auto loans, Visa cards, student checking accounts, and much, much more. And now we're going to roll into the NBA action. And it was a heck of a game last night. And our NBA expert, Dylan Burton, is back. Welcome back to Real Deal Sports Show, Dylan. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. It's brutal, but Mr. George, it's good to see you. And yes, that was a crazy game last night. I did a podcast recap like right after with one of my friends, and the first thing I said was, that's a prime example of eye and film test. You know what I'm saying? Quarter 1 through 3, unless you are a diehard OKC fan, I do not believe that if you were believing in OKC that you felt that they had that game from quarter 1 through 3. However, that fourth quarter came and a light switch hit. The momentum that they started building up off on, it starts with your best players. SGA showed why he was the MVP, showed why he's regarded as the best player in the league. You know what I'm saying? Just out there putting up a masterpiece, was very surgical, was getting to his spot, was showing his great footwork and timing. And the defense played immaculately as well. They went on a 12-to-1 run to finish the rest of the game, 31-17, outscoring them in the fourth quarter. And anytime you win the field goal percentage battle, the rebound battle, and the offensive rebound battle, you're most likely to win. And Indiana has been getting away with coughing up the ball. They got a little too cutesy out there in the fourth quarter when the moment was to call for, hey, you guys are up. You're trying to go 3-1, going back to OKC. It's a rare time where now you're the one sitting in the driver's seat, but you have to be ready for what comes with it next. And unfortunately, sometimes being the underdog, it gives you a code of invincibility because there's that no one expected me to be there. But it can be very hard as well to maintain your frame and maintain where you're at when now the pressure has been built up. And that's the biggest thing that people have been kind of knocking OKC on, is that, you guys struggle to win those dogfight games. But in a hostile Indiana crowd, they went out and did that last night. And I think that's going to have a big ripple effect for them as they try to regain the momentum, because it felt like Indy had it. So yeah. This was huge for OKC last night.
It looked like all of a sudden Indy didn't. The last 2 minutes of the game, they stopped running their offense. They stopped passing the ball around, because they were passing the ball to perfection in the first quarter, the second, third quarter. And then somewhere in the last 6 minutes of the game, they looked like they all of a sudden got tired, and guys weren't moving. They didn't have that ebb and flow that they had from that first quarter on. And for them to be at home, I was shocked that they looked like their legs were in quicksand. Dylan, did it seem like they were tired to you?
I think the best strength that Indiana has had is their consistency. Prior to this game, you could argue that in every single game, you were more worried about them running you out the gym. This was the first time I saw, you mentioned those last 6 minutes. This is the first time that I saw them in a clutch fourth quarter sense. I saw them look tired. I saw them look like, geez, all right, wait a minute. We got to do all this running now too. And I think the thing that most people who have been watching OKC this year, they've yet to play like an A+ game. That's the craziest thing. And the scariest thing, if I'm Indiana, is that now with them tying the series, and they haven't played that A+ game, but can we counteract? Can we balance them? Because we don't have the firepower. We have a deep team. We have a deep roster, but there's a reason why OKC's team won 68 games. So imagine when now they're back in their home environment. Things are clicking for them. Shots are going in. I mean, OKC only made 3 threes, but they made 2 of them in the fourth quarter when it mattered most, including the one by SGA. Big time players make big time plays, stepping up and when the moment calls for it. Imagine if they don't go 3 for 16, because they won in every other single statistical measure outside of threes and assists. So imagine if they have a hot shooting performance. If you're Indy, can the firepower, can that be there? You know what I'm saying? They still haven't had a big game from Miles Turner. He played well defensively, but he's not been able to make certain big shots that he was making in the playoffs. Nesmith has not been lights out the way he was in the Knicks series or the Cavs series. And, with guys like Mathurin, there's certain games where it's like the play calling isn't there for him to really go out there and cook like it was the game prior. I was impressed with what I saw with Halliburton. I feel like, he's dialed up his aggression really well, but he can't do it alone. You know what I'm saying? There's limitations with his play style, his ability to create off the dribble. So I think that this is one of those things where it's like kind of just knowing who you are, knowing your identity. And the Pacers very much, they know theirs and they believe. That's belief is strong. You can never take a team's belief, but a team like the Thunder, this is the biggest moment for them they have to go and be ready to etch their name, because if not, what I fear for is that I don't know if they are built to come back and play with their back, back against the wall. I still don't know. That's the thing that I still have the most about it, because I said Thunder in 6, but now my prediction is Thunder in 7. I think just the way that I think just the way that Indiana has been playing, they're ready for a dogfight in every single game.
Well, just watching the game last night, it seemed like the same team was playing their self. It looked like both teams were the same team, and they were running the same type of plays. They were taking the same type of threes. Everything was contested. It looked like almost a game at the Y. It didn't look like, wow, these are professional cats. Neither team has what you would call a true superstar, a guy that can elevate their game enough that it would take them over the top. It seemed like both of these teams are kind of, to me, evenly matched. They are good coaching, a great defense. I mean, it was a lot. If you like defense, this is the type of series for you. I don't know what the rating's going to be, but I mean, I don't think the rating's going to be that great, only because these two teams aren't playing to that run and gun type of exciting type of basketball. It's more of a deep. They both seem almost defensive style teams, and they score off of their defense more than their offense.
I think personally, because I talked about this as well, I actually feel like if you are a fan of the NBA of the yesteryear, where you remember hand checking, you remember tightly contested defense, you remember bigs playing in the paint, making it difficult for a guard or a wing to go into the basket, making them reconsider, making them really think about what type of shot am I going to put up. I feel like this is a great type of series for you, because it's both teams play a good blend of both that older style, but also a new style. But when it comes to OKC and Indy, I also talked about this. They now are both. The pressure is on for both of them because, and for different reasons, right? The Thunder are trying to cement themselves as this era's new dynasty team, similar to the Bulls in the 90s, the Warriors of the 2010s, the Lakers of the 2000s. They want to become that team. They want to be the team to beat. And once you win that first one, it's not saying that it becomes easy the rest of the time going on, but it becomes easier because you've reached that mountaintop. You've made that accomplishment already happen. Indiana is trying to prove that we're not just some Cinderella team we're not just here because, we lucked our way in. Like we are basketball personified as a state, and we are basketball personified as an organization.
Right.
And Tyrese Halliburton is trying to show, hey, you guys have been debating nonstop, night and day, without a break in sight. Am I a superstar or not? And I'm showing you with result that I get the job done. That's the most important thing. So I feel like now the stakes and the pressure is up for both teams. I think that this is going to make for some very exciting basketball for the rest of the series. But it's been very exciting overall. I don't even think neither team has played at their absolute best yet.
And that's what we're not seeing. Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see that. I think we'll see that in one of these last 2 games or 3 games coming up. Yes, indeed. And backed by popular demand, Vino Noir wine tasting, Saturday, June 28th, 2025, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Rock Arts Event Space, 215 Tremont Street, Suite 310. The very best of Black-owned vineyards. Call 585-313-4954 for tickets. Come on out and enjoy some of the best Black vineyards that you're going to have to display. Taste the wine tasting. They're going to be music. They got food for you. The whole 9 yards from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Rock Arts Event Space. Vineyard backed by popular demand. Vineyard Noir wine tasting. Check that out. And also, while we got one more before we move on to the next topic here, Rock City Chronicles multimedia storytelling event. Our Stories Ourselves, a production that tells the stories of Black and Latino Rochester from 1940 to now. That's going to be this coming Friday, June 20th at 8 p.m. at the Highland Bowl. Friday, June 20th. That's right. Just coming Friday, 8 p.m. at the Highland Bowl, 1137 South Avenue. If you want to learn the stories of Rochester history of the Black and Latino community, starting from 1940 to now, come on out and check it out. Let us know that the people have got it right from the Rock City Chronicles. Did they get it right or did they get it wrong? Did they get it correct or did they need to add something to it? Come out and check it out and see for yourself. It's going to be an excellent production at night. They got lighting, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a fun event. Bring out the entire family. It's a free event. Just coming Friday, June 20th at 8 p.m. And guys, I want to talk about this guy, Denzel Clark from Toronto, Canada. He's with the Sacramento Athletics. They used to be the Oakland A's, of course, for many years. This guy had a catch. He climbed the wall, turned his hand to the backwards to the back, and caught the ball as it was. The ball had already left the yard. He actually left the yard with the ball and came back into the yard. I don't know if Dylan, if you happen to see that catch or Internet Passport. That was one of the best catches of all time, not only for this season, but one of the best catches I've seen in my lifetime of watching Major League Baseball. This young man from Toronto, Canada, he's also cousins to the Naylor brothers, Bo and those guys who are in Major League Baseball as well. And nice to see the young man from Canada playing very well. Did any of you guys happen to see that catch?
Yes, bro, man. Oh, man. I'm going to see if I can get that pulled up real quick to show you. But it was definitely catch of the year. The way how he climbed that wall, turned around, snagged it out the air, almost looked like he was about to fall over, but somehow was able to yank that down and come back. It was something amazing. That type of skill is the one thing I always forget as someone that watched sports for a long time is that these guys are professionals and they make the most difficult feats look easy. You see that, you're like, oh wow. But the way how that type of catch, it's not every day. It's not casual. That was a hard catch, and he was able to make that happen to get that out. Man, the crowd went nuts. Oh man, it was something that was amazing there, Rad, man. So I don't know how anyone else could beat that unless there's going to be something else dramatic. You never say never, but man, I think he's a lock of catch of the year.
Absolutely. In baseball, there's a lot of young talent in Major League Baseball. They speeded up the game. It's a lot more quicker. It's not 3-4 hour games anymore, more about 2 hour games now, 2.5 hours. You may get a longer game every now and then, but on average, it's down to almost 2 hours, 2.5 hours at the ballpark. There's a lot of ball players, a lot more Black players coming back into the game. You're seeing a lot of young talent throughout. The Cincinnati Reds have a lot of good talent. You're seeing it throughout Major League Baseball. So I think it's a shot in the arm to the sport. And hey, baseball is a sport our people should consider playing. It's an excellent sport. It has a long history. And speaking of a long history, if you were at Frontier Field last night for the Red Wings game, it was Negro League night, and they had Negro League ball players at the game last night. And our own, truly, George Fontenette and the Fontenette family were there to honor their uncle, Mr. Velat, who owned the Negro League team here in Rochester, New York, in the 40s and the 40s and 50s time period. So a shout out to the Velat family, the Fontenette family for coming out. And we got to learn our history. I didn't even know there was a Negro League team based in Rochester, New York. But it was in the 40s and 50s. Mr. Velat was the owner of the team. He also had owned a lot of businesses over in the Clarissa Street neighborhood. We're going to have George Fontenette couldn't make it on this morning, but we're going to have him on in future weeks to let us know about Mr. Velat. He owned cleaners, restaurants. The whole nine, had a lot of businesses in the Black community of Clarissa Street. And that's why it's so important to know our history. The Clarissa Street reunion is coming up. Come out to Clarissa Street reunion in August. Learn about our history. Learn about not only the sports team, learn about all the businesses that we had up and down Clarissa Street and how it was a key component here in the Rochester marketplace. So we definitely got to learn that. And Dylan, do you have anything in closing quickly as I see we're running out of time here? We appreciate you coming on the show. Any other new news you'd like to share with us?
On my end or just like in the sports world?
On your end.
No, nothing yet, but stay tuned. Stay tuned.
All right. I hear the music. BacSpin coming on in. Welcome back, BacSpin.
Yes,
to
sir,
the show.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great show today, fellas. Great show as always. How you guys doing?
Great. You have a question. What's up with Chris Webber, man? What's wrong?
Chris Webber's always been Chris Webber. He's made no apologies about it. He did what he did, and that's why we didn't see him in that 30 for 30 documentary. You know what I mean? That the Fab Five did. Well, the Fab Four, we should say, because Chris wanted no parts of that documentary. And he's been able to maintain a career, with being a sports caster and all of that good stuff. So, I mean, he did what he did, man, and he made no qualms about it. I think if he had to take back that time out, he would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I agree.
But,
I agree.
Sometimes we have to just live with regrets. You know what I mean? That's life. That's life.
The whole ball.
That's what we call life.
You know what?
Man.
You know what else is life? Pittsburgh Steelers getting Aaron Rodgers. That's life for me. As a Dallas Cowboy fanatic, that is life for me. Go ahead, Pittsburgh. God dog it. Keep on keeping on. Couldn't have picked a better guy, in my opinion. Don't get broke ass Aaron Rodgers. And he just, if they like it, I love it. How about that?
I just can't. What was up with Justin Fields? They could not keep.
I don't know why. I don't know why they wouldn't keep that guy. And the way he played in the beginning of last season, you know what I mean? I don't know why they wouldn't have just developed the guy. He's still young. He can still ball. You get rid of a young guy and go pick up an old man. I don't understand.
When you're desperate to save your job, when you're on the hot seat, you make rash decisions. And that's why I keep saying, and hopefully I'm wrong. Hey, Mike Tomlin, he's on his last leg, a desperate move to try and take his team deep into the playoffs. Like I said, I think they're going to be a wild card team. They're going to have more wins than losses. But they're not going to have a losing season. And then after that, they're going to say, hey, Mike Tomlin, shake your hand. Your name is going to go in the Ring of Honor. Your future Hall of Fame coach. But here's your papers.
I think they're going to have a losing season. I don't think Aaron going to win them 6 games. That's just how I
already popping up. Hey, Aaron, what's that on your hand? Oh, I just got married. Hey, man.
That's just how it be sometimes. But, hey, I love it. All you Pittsburgh fans out there, congratulations on your new recruit. You know what I mean? Y'all just keep on keeping on, and we'll see what y'all do. in the season coming forward. Real Deal Sports Show. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll talk to y'all again next week, man.
Thank you. Look, and remember, continue to be a good sport. And come on out to Juneteenth. They're honoring myself and Dolores Jackson Radney. Some of the elders of the community will be honored at noon today at Martin Luther King Park. So come on out for the ceremonies and come on out and enjoy Robert Glasspar. They got concerts. They got a lot of activity at Martin Luther King Park. So come on out and have a great time today, everybody. It's Juneteenth weekend.
No doubt. And I will be there too, Rad, man. I will be DJing, I believe, from 4 to 6. So that's gonna be a good look tonight at the park. Keep it where you need it. Rock City on the way is the Back of Time Mix Show. Y'all know how it goes. Rochester's Own for hip hop and R&B. The Beat 105.5.